Travel isn't just about seeing new places. It's about experiencing life in a way that inspires, energizes, and transforms you. Today, we hear from a passionate traveler who shares a unique perspective on Africa, her advice for taking the leap into adventure, and her journey in building a new and exciting project in the world of travel.
Beautiful, energizing, and relaxing, which kind of contradict each other, but they are both, depending what you're doing on which day. You can go out and be really energized by everything you see, and all the people you come across make you feel really like up for it, and you just like want to see more and more and more. And then you could spend a lovely day at a safari camp completely relaxed and not even want to speak to anyone. You're so relaxed and comfortable. They make you feel so comfortable. I'd always say you've got to try once. If you've never travelled and you want to, but you're not sure, you could just take a short trip. You don't have to go on a long trip. Take a short trip somewhere. Especially some people like said to me they want to go on a cruise, but what if they hate it? I say, well, do a 2-night cruise. Some people say, I want to go on safari, but what if I hate it? So, well, do a 2-center, go to the beach for 4 nights and safari for 3 nights. And then you can really like break it up, really test it out. And then if you love it, next time you can go for longer. So it's got to be worth a try, is what I'd say. The way I've done it was really low risk. I didn't pay for a franchise or set up like with a big company. I paid a really small startup fee of £142, and that was to get me through all my ABTA training, all of my regulatory training, and all the training that you have to do. And then I pay £32 a month, which is sort of like a membership fee, which gives me my insurance, keeps me covered by ABTA at all for everything I book. It gives me access to many suppliers, all of the supply training, and a community of other people that are doing what I'm doing that you're not in competition with, that will help you. And the real positive is you can leave anytime. It's just like there's no contract. We're going to Botswana in December 2025, to a place we've never been before. And we quite often these days go to probably what you'd call luxury camps. Whereas we're not doing that in Botswana. We're going on an expedition safari. So we're actually camping, and then each day the tents move. So there's no, I'm not saying it'll be awful, but it's not luxury. It's bucket showers and compost toilets and food cooked on the little gas hobs. And so it's probably like a proper safari. You're going to have to work hard to save up to go on holiday. It doesn't come for free. We all know that. If you like traveling, just try and get in as much as you can whilst you can. Because if you're young and you want to start a family, travel before you start a family, maybe on some like far out places. Because once you've got a family, your holidays would take a completely different turn. They'll still be enjoyable, but different. If your family is now older and you've never really traveled, go for it. If you're feeling like not quite so active, then look for a nice relaxing holiday, maybe a cruise. You don't have to get off every day and like everything's on the boat, so there's like many different things to do. Or if you're traveling in the UK, you haven't got to go abroad. That we've got England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all over. There's some absolutely gorgeous places here with some lovely hotels. Traveling doesn't necessarily mean you've got to get on a plane. You could travel at home and have a completely enjoyable time.
Whether you're exploring the far corners of the world or discovering hidden gems close to home, travel invites you to see life through a new lens. There's no single right way to travel. What matters is daring to take the first step, following your curiosity and embracing the adventure. Your next unforgettable experience could be just one decision away.